Welcome to day one of the Break the Laws of Love challenge. So today is all about the law of control. This is the law of love that is very much focused on being in charge. And, there are very positive things about being in control and being in charge. The positive things have to do a lot more with leadership and what it means to really take ownership of what it is that you want in your life. Because so many of us are so afraid to really declare what it is that we want and to ask for what we want. But law of control people, one of their greatest strengths is that they know what it is that they want and they know what they don't want to settle for. And this is something that we can really admire and learn from law of control people. Now, it's the law of control is one of the laws of love because too much control can make someone a bit of a control freak. And it can lead into wanting to micromanage how things turn out. And in relationships, it can be like controlling other people, like controlling your partner and wanting them to do things your way. In like an extreme situation of a villainous law of control person, we think of that movie. What was it? Was it Sleeping with the Enemy or something? Anyway, I remember it was in the 90s and I wasn't allowed to watch it, or late 80s or something. But I think later it was on Lifetime, and the guy made her organize, like the cans had to be organized a certain way, and he was very abusive. And, that's an extreme case of the law of control. And not everybody who is the law of control is like this like horrible villain of a person. No, because it's a law of love, it can come out in a very sneaky way. If you were able to watch episode 1 of the Universal Love Story, which focuses on Britt and her journey with love, you'll see that it really came out with how she was really first she was very determined and focused on what it was that she wanted. She was also really willing to do what was necessary and do the hard work, and she was being very empowered and responsible. And this is freaking awesome. Now, when we saw it creep up was when she really had a strong what we call trigger. She was triggered by the suggestion of online dating. And again, just as I said in the episode, I totally get it. I know that it's really tough out there. I know that people ghost each other, and that really, really sucks. I know that people can they can do false advertising where they misrepresent themselves. Other complaints I've heard are that people don't even read each other's profiles, that it's just very surface. And I'm sure that we could add on several things on why online dating really, really sucks. That's not the point. Because the point is that in order to have a result that you really, really want, and let me back it up for just a second, because the law of control people are very much into results and the bottom line. And again, this is a really good thing. But when we're dealing with relationships, being really resorts, hey, if you're resort driven, that could be a really good thing. But being really results driven in a relationship, that can lead to some the other person who's on the receiving end of that just being really, please, I can feel your energy, back it up. It's just it's being super attached to an idea and wanting things to look a certain way. And it also happens when we base our self-worth on what someone does or doesn't do. And a lot of these self-worth issues and self-esteem issues can come up as we go outside our comfort zone and wanting to manifest a new experience in our love life, whether it's crafting or creating the new relationship, as Brittany did in her episode of the Universal Love Story, or if it's wanting to enhance the relationship that you're already in. And if you're affected by the law of control and you're currently in a committed partnership, maybe you're the very controlling person, and maybe you have certain ideas of how things have to be in a relationship. And maybe that kind of makes your partner do passive aggressive things or not want to connect with you, and it can lead to like fighting and misunderstanding. Or maybe on the other side of that, maybe your partner is a little on the controlling side, or a lot on the controlling side. And for all of this, I want to acknowledge that this is fear at work. All of these laws of love, they all really point to the different ways that cause us to choose fear when we could be choosing love in our relationships, in really anything. It's like, is it love or is it fear? And the laws of love are very fear driven. And people who control, they control so that they can feel safe. And we all have a need for safety that can come out in different ways. It's just a part of being human. So sit with that for a minute. And after you sit with that, I am so excited to hear your answers, or to read your answers to the assignment for today, which is really stepping powerfully into the positive attributes of the law of control, and really owning what it is that you want to get out of this challenge and what your motivation was to join this challenge. Because when we know what it is that we want, and maybe it's like we don't know exactly, but it's like a feeling, or it's just like some type of knowing, when we can at least voice that, it allows us to connect with our heart. And connecting with our heart is a way that we can all break the law of control. And even if the law of control is not your primary law of love that's impacting your choosing love versus fear, even if it's not the primary one, there are still aspects of that happening within you, because fear happens. As much as we may not like it, or as much as we judge it, it's a part that really keeps us alive and well. So please connect with that heart of yours. That is a way that you can break all of the laws of love, especially the law of control. And as you connect with your heart, just, what do I want to receive or create from participating in this challenge? And once you do that, please write down your answer in the thread that we have going about the law of control, and make sure that your answers come in by 11 p.m. tonight. And tomorrow I will be choosing today's prize winner. Have an amazing rest of the day, and revolt for love.